welcome to the latest instalment of the Rangers Women's Supporters Group podcast. I'm joined by Car. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. A lot warmer than last night. It's warmed up a wee bit, which is nice. Couldn't feel my feet by the end of the night, but yeah, good.
Yeah, November weather is not much fun to be going to football, but it was a good one, so we're happy with that. We travelled to, East Kilbride for
Yeah.
Motherwell Park, so for the Sky Sports Cup quarter final, and we started with Esson, Docherty, Eddie, Medag, McCleary, McLean, McLaughlin, Hay, Devlin, Wilkinson, and Hardy. Happy with that?
I was back to the 4-4-2, which is nice. Seems to be working out quite well for us. I'm glad that she's stuck with that. It's just good that Jodie's getting more game time and it means we could play Rio and Wilco up top together. So yeah, I was quite happy with it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of similar to the last weekend as well. So it's like if it's no broke, don't fix it kind of thing. So it was quite good to see a kind of settled team as well. We started the game. It was 12 minutes in. Leah Eddy got on the score sheet. From where we were sitting, we were like, was it Leah's? Was it Liv? But it's been credited to Leah Eddy, and that's her first goal for the club.
Yeah, I mean, still from the highlights, I'm not 100% sure if it did cross the line before Liv stuck her boot in it and got it in the back of the net, but they're giving it to her and everybody was buzzing for her to score. Pretty good goal if it was managed to get across the line from where she put the ball in. It was pretty far over to the left-hand side of the goal and just kind of crossed it in and went over the line. So first goal for her, pretty good.
Yeah, I think the goalkeeper's kind of got to be doing better before she tried to like dive to get it, but surely Eddy's not going to bother. But yeah, the camera angle did us no favours because I was like, oh, the highlights will make it clearer. No, still not any clearer. But first goal, I think she's been trying quite a lot recently to get her first goal, so good that she's finally off the mark as well. The next bit of action was Vic getting a yellow card. Seemingly picked the ball up outside the box and got a yellow card and gave away a free kick.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't in the highlights, so nobody will have seen that if they weren't at the game. But yeah, she's standing basically on the line and then bends down and picks it up outside the box. It's a yellow card. Some refs probably give it as a red card, so she's quite lucky in that respect. I think she just, concentration got a little bit out of her head and she just picked it up without thinking and got a yellow card for it. Stupid, really, but they all make mistakes.
Yeah, it's just that lapse of concentration that she's obviously wasn't thinking. And I think if we said at the game, if she'd taken a step back a bit, it would even have just been on the line and it would have been fine. But never mind, these things happen. We had a few other chances after that. I think Charlie Devlin was trying her luck, getting a few shots off, and then she was down on the ground, and Motherwell were doing really well to actually slide and get the ball. They were taking it as well, but they were doing quite well before she finally got off the mark and got her goal. Another one, she's in quite a good bit of form now.
Yeah, I mean, Wilco does pretty well. We can maybe argue there's a little bit of a handball there potentially from Wilco, but it wasn't given. She kind of puts the ball in and Charlie's just there to put it through the defender's legs and into the back of the net. She's on good form at the moment. She's doing pretty well. I say she could stay upright a bit more often, but I mean, when players go through the back of you, they did get the ball, so it's not a foul, but it's not much she can do. But she's been pretty good between Montrose and yesterday. She played pretty well, so I'm looking forward to seeing more of what she can offer us.
Yeah, hopefully she continues it next week. We'll go to a big game, but we'll come to that later. Only took another couple of minutes before we were on the score sheet again. This time, Rio Hardy picking up the scraps of Wilco's shot and another goal for Rio as well. She's in good form as well.
Yeah, I mean, most of them seem to be in good form. It's kind of unlucky for Wilco that this didn't go in because it's a screamer if it goes in, but it hits the underside of the crossbar and Rio's there to head it in and get in the back of the net. But that's what you wanted to do. You wanted to be in that area to pick up rebounds and balls that are coming across. So exactly what you want your strikers to do, link up and create chances for each other. So yeah, good goal.
Yeah, the Motherwell managed to get one back. It was a bit of a lapse of concentration, I would say, at the back. Tess looked like she was going to kind of get a handle on things, and then she gives the ball back to the Motherwell player, and they managed to get one back.
Yeah, she just almost got out muscled so to speak. She's just the last to take the ball off her. I mean, it's a beautiful goal if you're a Motherwell fan because it's a really nice long-range strike into the back of the net. But from us, defensively, we need to do a bit better there. It's only so much Tess can do on her own, but she really should just be playing that ball back to Vic or getting out of the danger area instead of being unsure what she's going to do and creating that kind of confusion.
Yeah, definitely. I think defensively we need to kind of brush up on that when there is bigger games coming around the corner as well. But at least it was only once. That was fine. I, the next goal was Wilco. This time Leah Eddy with the assist. So nice to have the roles reversed for that goal.
Yeah, I mean, Nick does really well as well. She drives forward pretty well, lays the ball off to Leah, who puts the cross in, and Wilco just what she always does is puts it on her head and into the back of the net. I mean, it's a beautiful goal. They've worked really well together, good kind of team goal for everyone. But that freedom that Nick and Leah have been afforded by being able to get up the wings is really helping us get more crosses in from the wide areas instead of getting bogged down and trying to play through the middle when there's congestion. So it's working pretty well for us. So more of that, please.
Yep, and then Wilco puts us 5-1 up before half time as well. Good to see. I think we kind of spoke before, she's no scored as much, and then I don't know if she overheard us as they were warming up or something because she was on good form last night. And I think she works really well with Rio Hardy. They seem to be getting a really good partnership going, so good for her to get another goal.
Yeah, I mean, good from Rio to play that ball in, and Wilco again is where she needs to be to get another goal. And I think that really will do her confidence a world of good, especially going into the game coming up, which is a really big game that she's not scored in yet, so needs to get a handle on that. So hopefully that'll do everyone good. But I think it does help having just them two up top and nobody necessarily straight in behind them because there's not too many players then getting in each other's way. I think that really does help us having that 4-4-2. So if we stick with that, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, and then just before half time, the terrible referee decisions continued. Nick got tackled and he decided it wasn't really a foul, but she kind of got up and was limping. So during half time, we were kind of thinking it looks like she's going to be going off. Kathy was warming up, and she did indeed go off at half time. I think more precautionary than anything when we spoke to her at the end of the game. So she went off. Kathy Hill came on. Tess went off, and Lizzie came on. So good to get Lizzie some minutes in that as well, and obviously good to see Kathy back after her not featuring last weekend.
Yeah, I think we're a bit concerned about that. I know they said it was just a bit of a rest for her, but she came out firing as Kathy always does, so that was good to see. And then Lizzie in that kind of wing back role seems to suit her quite well. So if we've got options there, which is nice. Whereas I felt like before we were kind of stuck with playing three at the back, you didn't have as many options going forward. So I think that has helped us. And hopefully Nick's okay. She was limping a little bit, but seemed to be okay after the game. So I'm sure she'll be fine this week. Plenty of ice and rest, and she'll be all right.
Yeah, I think talking of the wing backs as well, I think Jodie McCleary's doing really well in that kind of right wing back position as well. She's, she would run all day, to be honest, up and down, but she also likes to get stuck in. So I think that position is really favouring her. Plus, it's getting her minutes in the team.
I mean, it's ideal, really. It's not really something I thought would happen, but she's really taken to it pretty well. And as you say, it was running up and down all day, getting back when she needed to be defensively. There's one point, I think it was the second half, where she ran basically the length of the pitch to stop them getting attacking, which is exactly what you want. And it's given her that freedom to play alongside Brogan or Mia or whoever's in beside her. It's given her those other options, which is good to see. And more minutes for Jodie's always been going to be good in our books, so it's nice to see.
Yep, definitely. Kirsty Howitt came on for Charlie Devlin. Charlie Devlin had got, I think it was a tackle just before, no long before then, and I think did she get? No, she never got a yellow card, did she? I think she was on the verge of getting a yellow card though because she kept talking back to the ref. So she went off. Kirsty Howitt came on. So yeah, good obviously for Kirsty to come on as well and get some more minutes because I think Joe's been kind of struggling to decide who's kind of the best two up front, so it's good for her to kind of come on and get some more minutes as well.
Yeah, I think if we're going to be playing the 4-4-2, it doesn't really offer much. Well, she'll get the chance to play up front beside Wilco or Rio or whoever, but if she's not going to get that chance, at least she's getting some minutes and it's going to keep her fresh and do her confidence quite good because we know what it's like if Kirsty's not in the team scoring goals, her confidence dips a little bit. So I think this will help her as we'll come on to later on when she does eventually get a goal.
Yep, and then 73 minutes, Wilco gets her hat trick, her 5th of the season. Absolutely sensational free kick when as soon as she steps up, and I never really noticed it at the game, but watching back on the highlights, she seems to have like that a kinda free kick routine, kinda Ronaldo-esque, when she's, like, moving about and, like, obviously getting into her zone, so it certainly worked. She's got her another hat trick, 5th of the season, and she looks like she's back.
It reminds me of, well, I'm sure his name was Wilkinson too, wasn't it? The England rugby captain, when he'd step up to take the kicks after the conversion. I couldn't think of the name there. He does that. He takes a few steps back and then slides over, and she does exactly the same thing. So maybe that's where she's learned it from. But it works. Up and over the wall, straight under the bar, exactly what you want from her. Basically carbon copy of the one that she nearly scored in the first half. So obviously something they've been working on, which is quite good that we've got a few options for free kick takers, but she's pretty good at it.
Yeah, that's a like, comparison actually, when I was watching it did remind me of that that's exactly what it was, where he would have the exact same routine, just getting in his zone, and so if she keeps doing that, then happy days. Just after she got her hat trick, she was off, so just as well that went in, or she was gonna be getting hooked on 2 goals, but she obviously maybe knew she was gonna go off, so she knew she had to get it in. She went off, and Camille Lafay came on, and I think, again, done quite well, getting some more minutes, and she was in and around that box trying to make things happen.
Yeah, she was unlucky not to score. There was a chance, they didn't really show it on the highlights, but there was a chance where I think it was a header from her that didn't go in, but no, it wasn't a header, it was a long range strike, wasn't it? That went up and over the bar. But she's creating things, she's a good technical player, she's nippy, isn't she? So she can wind her way through players and keep the ball, which is always good to see. So it's nice we've got those options for the midfield to keep things alive and kicking, so to speak.
Yep, and then a few minutes later, I don't know why they never done the subs at the same time, to be honest, but Mia came on for Brogan. I think Brogan was getting a bit frustrated with the Lino, so he was gonna end up in the book, so I think that was why she got hooked. But Mia came on and instantly nearly got a goal, a long ball over the top that she shouted for, and we were willing her to just shoot, but she squared it to Kirsty, and Kirsty obviously just kinda was it she hit it past the post? I don't think it was on the highlights either, but she just kinda hit it past the post and it went out, but I think if Mia had taken the shot on, she would probably have scored.
I mean, she was in perfect position for it. As you say, beautiful long ball over the top. She's running straight at goal. She just needs to be a bit selfish there and just take the shot on. Fair enough, she wants to try and square it. There's loads of our players in the box potentially could come off for her, but on her day, Mia's going to score those 9 times out of 10, so I don't know why she didn't. So maybe she'll get told to just take that shot in future and do her a bit of good.
Yeah, I think Alan had kinda said at the game, obviously, 'cause Kirsty's no been as prolific scoring, we're playing further back, so maybe she thought, "Get Kirsty a goal," but obviously it never came off, but Kirsty did then get a goal, actually, we're missing a goal before that. Liv got a goal, Kirsty Howat assisted, and it was quite a nice assist from Kirsty Howat, so, and then Liv just kinda taps it in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she's going for the assist. I think she's going for the header to score,
I
but
think so, yeah.
Liv's at the back post to stick her leg kind of up and poke it into the back of the net. It's exactly what you want, but good play from Lizzie. And Rio, you could argue it potentially went out at one point, but the ref and Lino had a howler yesterday, as they always do. I'm sure we don't want to talk about that too much, but they were shocking. As you say, Brogan was at that poor Lino most of the game because he was getting calls wrong the whole time. So we finally got one call that went for us instead of all the offsides that they kept calling that weren't offside. So yeah, good work from Lizzie. And then Kirsty kind of heads it back and Liv's at the back post to just stick her boot in and put it in the back of the net.
Yeah, and then, as I say, Kirsty Howat did get on the score sheet, like, this time it was Rio that assisted, so Rio was just doing really well after I was saying that she should be playing more. Now that she's in the team, I think she's probably one of the first names on the team sheet currently.
Yeah, I think so, especially next to Wilco. They seem to play really well together. So it'll do everyone good for that. But she does really well there because the player's kind of on the back of her, almost grabbing at her, and she managed to just run away from her, put the ball across the goal. Kirsty's not going to get an easier chance at scoring a goal than that, but all she needs to do is tap it in. But as you say, Rio was just back to the way that we know that Rio can play, which is exactly what you want. 2 games kind of easier opposition will do them the world of good being able to score that many goals. Because I don't think anybody had 8-1 being the final score against Motherwell, but half their team couldn't play because there are players. So that's what happens, I suppose.
Yeah, they did. They were also playing midweek, so they were tired and
They all
match
had
day was up as
12-hour
well.
shifts.
Yeah. So yeah, 8-1 win, progressed to the semi-finals. I think the semi-final draw will either be tomorrow or Tuesday. They've not actually announced it yet, but I imagine it'll be the next couple of days. But a good convincing win to get, as you say, the confidence back up ahead of next week. Put player of the match.
I've got 4 names written down, and I can't really pick between them. So I think I'll go with Jodie because I think she deserves a bit of uplifting. She's doing so well in that position, playing out of her position. Only played there a handful of times, doing really well. Was everywhere, terrorising most of their players yesterday. So I'll give it to Jodie.
Yeah, I think it's really difficult. When I was picking the thing for the poll, I was like, you could literally put any 4 names in, but I think Wilco obviously getting a hat trick, she got a couple of assists, would probably be the natural one, but Rio done really well. But I think Leah Eddy, she's just quietly going about her business, finally got a goal. I think she got a couple of assists in that as well. So for me, I think I'll go for Leah Eddy just as a bit of an unsung hero in the team now. So yeah, currently the Partick Hibs game, I think it's 4-1 to Hibs as we speak. I think it's nearly finished, so Hibs look to be going through. Aberdeen's was 3-1, so Aberdeen are through. And then obviously later on there's Celtic versus Glasgow City, so no really any big surprises of who's went through the games.
No, I mean, Aberdeen were a bit touch and go there for the first half. Boroughmuir Thistle were 1-0 up at one point, which is pretty surprising considering they've dropped down, 2 leagues since we played them last, which is surprising. But at the end of the day, no real surprises who went through. Although the Hibs Partick one, you could argue potentially could have been a banana skin. But I guess we'll find out later on who of the other big twos gets knocked out, which is quite nice. We're already comfortably through and can just sit back and see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we'd be happy taking on any of the teams, really, especially we seem to be in that good kind of ascendancy, getting the goals back, and we just need to kind of cut out the mistakes at the back, and we'll be good.
Yeah, that's probably the main thing we need to focus on. But I think having 4 at the back can help because you've got more people there. But a lot of the time, 2 of them are halfway up the pitch, so it doesn't always help all the time. But if we can cut that out, just keep concentration and just focus on getting the ball out of danger areas instead of faffing about and playing it back and forth. Just lump up the park if you need to. Just stop that happening would be good. So I'm sure they'll be working on that.
Yeah. So next up, just the small matter of another old firm. We're at they're now at New Douglas Park or whatever it's called now, and they're playing Hamilton anyway. So it's a 12 o'clock kickoff. I think it's on Sky Sports, I believe. So it's going to that always bodes as well. We're usually quite good away. So thoughts on next week's game?
I mean, I don't want to say it's a must win, but it's always a must win against them. And they've had so many games in between being in the Champions League, playing the teams that they've been playing. So perfect for us to just turn up, do what we can do. Hopefully everybody turns up on form. Rio and Wilco doing exactly what they need to do and we'll be all right. But as you say, any stupid mistakes will probably get punished by them compared to Montrose and Motherwell, so we need to be really tight at the back that way. But feeling pretty confident with it purely because it's an away game. We seem to do quite well against them away from home, and it's on Sky, which 2 out of 3 times has boded well for us. So we just need to go into it with confidence, and I'm speaking to a few of the players. I think they are, so hopefully it'll be the case that we just come away with a good victory would be nice, but I'll take a 1-0. It doesn't really matter as long as we win the game.
Yeah, do you think we'll stick? Hopefully, we'll stick with the 4 at the back. But do you think it'll be kind of 4-4-2 since we seem to be working with that, or do you think they'll go back to the 4, the kind of one in behind the 2?
I'd like to think that the whole point of these 2 games playing in a 4-4-2 has been leading up to that, because it'd be kind of silly to do it against those 2 teams and then not do it against Celtic. Kind of helps us having more players there and also gives us a lot more width. So I'd like to think that's the whole point of it, is been leading up to that. So I'd assume that's what it's for. But with Jo, you never know. She might switch it up and we'll have 3 up top and 1 at the back or something ridiculous.
5 at the back and nobody really up front. We're just going
Yeah.
defensive part of us. For the defence, do you think Tess keeps her place, or do you think maybe Raf comes in if we're going 4 at the back?
Honestly, I think you could put Raf in there, and I think she'd be solid, but with her not really getting any minutes other than, I think she got some against Montrose, didn't she?
I think she did. I think she came on.
I think so. I think she'll probably start with Tess, see how she gets on, but any funny business and any mistakes, I think she gets whipped off and you put Raf on. Hopefully Nick's okay, Kathy's fully fit for it, and we've got Lee Eddy there to shore it up. I think we'll be all right.
Yeah. For the midfield, do you think it's more of the same, keeping Eddie and Liv? I totally forgot. Kind of in the middle, I think they're linking up quite well.
Yeah, I think so. I don't really know who else you would put in at the moment. They've both come, well, not Liv. Liv's been fine. She's needed a rest, but she's got a wee rest and she's back to being herself again. I think it'd be stupid to drop any. She's back to her usual self, spinning around and step overs and going all over the place, which confuses a lot of players. So I think them two, and then obviously Brogan or Mia or Lizzie or whoever out in the wings, I think would be helpful. Or Charlie and Camille.
Yeah, I think the wings is where she'll probably switch it up a bit because there's obviously Lizzie, Brogan, Mia. Camille could probably play at that kind of way, but I think she's probably going to keep Charlie playing, and then Rio and Wilco up front because they seem to be in a good bit of form with each other. So probably more of the same with what we've seen.
Yeah, and I think you couldn't be too mad at it, to be honest, when everybody's shown currently why they should be playing in the team exactly what you want. Any issue, she's got players there that she can switch in and do a job for us. It seems like the whole squad's firing at the moment. Fair enough, we played Montrose and Motherwell, so you can't read too much into that. But we'll find out on Sunday if it works, and hopefully it does.
Yeah, I think we had to change after, obviously, the draws, so it's obviously something that they've recognised as well, and it's good that they're obviously willing to change to kind of the 4 at the back. I think Jo's tried the 3 at the back for quite a while, and it's maybe not working as well as she wants in these bigger games, so she's obviously willing to kind of change our philosophy a wee bit. But it's still very attacking, especially in these kind of games, but whether it works in the bigger games, we'll soon find out, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I think she needed that kind of wee speed bump with a couple of draws, maybe knocked her a little bit, and she thought, I need to do something here. But she was good at before. She was good at switching up during games, and she hadn't really been doing that. It was just kind of rigid in the way that it was. So it's good that she's recognised that, and I'm sure Jay and Hadji had a part to play in that as well. So they've collaborated to make that happen, and hopefully we'll find out soon enough if my computer stops having a hissy fit, if it works on Sunday.
Yep, so I think that's pretty much all we've got to talk about then for the football. As I say, the tickets are on sale for next Sunday. I think it's fan base that they're using now, so if you fancy going along, then get your tickets there. And it's 12 o'clock kickoff, so it is a bit earlier than usual. So we'll hopefully see some of you there, and we'll obviously podcast next week because it's an early one, so we should have maybe an earlier pod out. I don't know.
Well, I'm working. So once I'm home from work, we can.
But once Car's finished, the pod will just be out when Car's finished her work. So yeah, that's us. Thanks as always for joining us, Car.
No problem. Thank you.
And we'll speak to you next time.